Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. My name is Subhalakshmi Raut from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation, Odisha, India, and we are continuing our series Birds of India, and today we will study about Cormorants of India, which is third part of this series. And Cormorants. Have you ever seen a V-shaped flock of blackbirds flying in the sky near a water body, or a blackbird's head sticking out of the water at a lake or pond? You guessed it right. They are most probably cormorants. Now, why cormorants are called cormorants? The name cormorant is a contraction of two Latin words, corvus and marinus. Corvus means crow or raven, and marinus means sea, ocean, marine water. And when they are taken together, it means sea raven. The species name, uh, that is Phallocrocorax, comes from the Greek words phallakros, meaning bald, and corax, meaning raven. Now we are going to study about some interesting facts about cormorants. There are three species of cormorants that are regularly found in India, and they are often seen sitting close to water with their wings wide open for drying them. As we know, every bird have oil glands which secrete oil that they use to keep their feathers waterproof. But cormorants are often seen diving inside water, so this gland is not sufficient on its own for them. So they are often seen with sitting with spreaded wings to dry them. And uh, these all three species of cormorants are black in color with some changes, and they are referred to as water crow, and in Odia they are called panikua. They are highly piscivorous, means they consume fish and are very skilled swimmers. They are often seen putting their head underwater in search of fishes, and when they catch their prey, they suddenly stick out their head out of the water with their kill or catch. And during this time, you have noticed that sometimes other birds try to steal the hunt of these cormorants, and they have relatively short wings due to their need to swim, and because of this, they expend more energy during flight than any other flying birds. And um, when sometimes you have seen that in flight they hold their necks extended and they appear longer, that's why. And they have a unique bone at the back of the skull known as occipital style or os nuchale, which helps them to anchor the muscles around the bone, which enable the bird to close the lower mandible with more force. This helps them catch the fishes with a faster rate. And in certain cultures, historically, um, the cormorants were used in fishing, and the fishermen used to tie a snare or a loop around the bird's throat, and they were not allowed to swallow any fish. They can only swallow smaller fishes, but bigger fishes are very difficult to swallow, so they just get stuck near in the throat, and the fishermen then bring the cormorant on the back to the boat and make them throw up the fishes. That this technique was used to catch fishes by fishermen traditionally, and the cormorants were closely related are actually closely related to darters, and historically they all belong to the same family, Phalacuraceae. But now the darters are placed under separate family, that is Amhingidae. And the cormorants are actually pellet makers. They create pellets out of the bones and fish scales of the fishes that they eat, and like some owls, they spit them out. And this is the cormorant diversity in India. There are three cormorants that are regularly found in India: little cormorant, Indian cormorant, and great cormorant. We are going to study about all these, and the first one is little cormorant. According to size, the, it is the smallest one, then Indian cormorant, then great cormorant. But before studying them, we have to actually know the, the parts of their body. This uh, triangular, elongated, rectangular portion is the head, and this elongated beak, and after beak you can observe the yellow under part of the neck, starting from the beak, that is collar pouch. It has a tail and a web, and two web feet. Now first one is little cormorant, Microcarpo niger. And as you have known from earlier, these three little Indian and great cormorant all belong to the family Phalacrucaraceae, and they all are of least concern according to IUCN status. But there are little differences between all these three. But we are going to first study about little cormorant first, and distribution. If we talk about them, they are found in our Indian subcontinent, Myanmar, Thailand, and Indonesia. And the species author is Willie Lott, and in 1817 he discovered this bird, and they are also known as Halitor niger, Phalacrocorax niger, Phalacrocorax javanicus. And it is a small bird measuring up to 50 to 55 centimeter in length, and male bird is slightly larger than female, and the breeding cormorant birds have black or brown black plumage with longer tail, and the adults have small erectile crest on the forecrown, and the non-breeding birds have white patch on the throat. The webbed feet are totally black, and they produce low roaring, grunting, and groaning sounds. And their habitat is they are seen in both inland and coastal water areas. They're found in village ponds, estuaries, lagoons, creeks, marshes, swamps, ponds, lakes, and streams. They mainly feed on fish, but sometimes they also consume crustaceans and amphibians also. And they dive to catch their prey and surface to follow it. And their breeding season is mainly from June to August in North India and November to February in South India. And the nesting habit includes formation of nests on trees, and the clutch size has 2 to 6 eggs. Hunting of these birds, persecution from the aquaculture industry, and breeding habitat destruction or degradation are the threats for conservation of these species. So we have to develop some conservation strategies to save them and their habitat. Now, next one is Indian cormorant, Phalacrocorax fusicolis, and they are distributed in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. The species author is Stephens, and in 1826 he named this bird. And this is a medium-sized bird measuring up to 60 cm in length, and they have long tail and long thin bill ending with a hooked tip. And the characteristic feature of this bird is the blue color of the eyes. You can see the blue color of the eyes in the picture. They have bronze brown colored plumage, and the upper plumage is scalloped in black. The breeding birds have short white ear tuft, and they are found in both freshwater and saline water habitats, and they are found in ponds, lakes, streams, creeks, lagoons. They generally avoid open coasts. They feed mainly on fish, and they catch the prey by diving in the water. And they are often seen moving in a formation, like creating a formation to corner the fish to a particular area, and then they go for the fish, and they are seen fishing in a group. The breeding season is from July to February in North India, and November to February in South India. They make nests on half submerged trees, and on trees found in islands, and the nest is built with twigs, and the usual clutch size is 3 to 5 eggs. For this bird's conservation also, for their survival, there are major threats. The threats are habitat degradation, human activity in the breeding habitats, and drying up of the water bodies due to our climatic changes nowadays, due to man anthropogenic activities. So we have to control our activities for the survival of these species. And the next one is great cormorant, Phalacrocorax carbo, and uh, they are found in our Indian subcontinent, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, and Australia. There are six recognized subspecies under of great cormorant, and this is the larger bird among three, and measuring up to 80 to 100 centimeter in length. The female cormorant is slightly smaller, and they have black plumage with longish tail, and the adults have white patches on thighs and on throat in the breeding season, and they may have a yellow throat patch, and you can see the beak is black in color, but there are some white colors towards the gullet pouch. They, and the white color sheath shaped patch near the uh, beak portion is also identifying feature. They are seen in both inland and coastal water bodies. They are found in estuaries, lagoons, creeks, tidal flats, marshes, swamps, fish ponds, lakes, and streams. The feeding habits mainly include fish, but sometimes they feed on crustaceans, mollusks, and amphibians. The breeding season is from April to June in temperate regions, but they continue to breed year-round in tropics. They make their nests as a platform on trees, and in some places they make nests on the ground also. The clutch size has 3 to 4 eggs. Now, as you know, it is a confusing topic. Cormorants are not easily identified correctly. So we will see now how can we differentiate these three cormorants by taking some parameters like shape of head. If you see the shape of head, the first one is from the left to right. The leftmost one was is the little cormorant. Next one is Indian cormorant, and the next one is towards the right is great cormorant. Little cormorant have a small head, um, which is rectangular in shape, and have a steep forehead, and the bill is short. And if you go to Indian cormorant in the middle one, you can see that they have a elongated and oval shaped head with long, narrow, and finer bill than the other two cormorants. And the great cormorant, that is on the right side, has a large head and much thicker than other two cormorants with long but thicker and larger bill. Now, if we see the colors on the head, we can see that at the left side, little cormorant, the breeding adult has all black color on the head, and in a non-breeding adult, they have some browner patches, and the bill with some white on their chin, and the middle one, Indian cormorant, the breeding adult have glossy black with greenish blue eyes. They appear glossy black actually, and a white tuft of ear coverts are also seen. These two little tufts of ear tufts that are white in color. Um, and the non-breeding adult is browner with yellowish color pouch and white on the throat. And in the great cormorant towards the right, the breeding adult has extensive white on the head with a red spot at the base of the bill, and the non-breeding adult has yellow color pouch patch with white throat and cheeks. In breeding plumage, the great cormorant also has a white spot on the lower flanks that we studied earlier. Now, when we have seen them sitting on a branch or on land, uh, from their shape also we can identify the cormorants. So towards the left, little cormorant, they are smaller in appearance and appear a little bulkier or stockier in um, build, and the neck is also short, but the tail is proportionally longest of all the three cormorants. And Indian cormorant in the middle, they are slender looking. They appear little thinner than other cormorants, and with slimmer and longer neck and relatively long tail. And the largest of them is great cormorant, that is towards the right, with a thick neck, large head, and stocky appearance. They uh, they have a heavy beak and short tail, and when they are perched, they can be easily identified. And when we see them during flight, We can also identify them easily. Like if the bird appears large and the neck and tail appear short and the body is bulky, then the cormorant is likely to be great cormorant, that is the right one in the picture. And if the neck portion of the bird is as long or as short or shorter than the tail, then or if both the neck and tail are almost as long as the body, then the cormorant is likely to be little cormorant, that is the left one on the picture. And if the neck appears to be longer than the tail, but the bird retains an overall slender look, then it's likely to be an Indian cormorant. That is in the middle one in the picture. You can see the neck portion is longer than the tail portion in the picture and identify that it's Indian cormorant. Now, if we see a juvenile or an immature cormorant, how can we differentiate them? It's easy actually. And the little cormorant towards the left, they the juveniles have brown underparts, undersides actually brown in color and with some pale mottling. Means you can see the some black patchy hair on the brown plumage in the underside. And in the middle one, the Indian cormorant, they have a paler breast and lower belly. They have pale brownish color breast and whitish or pale brown lower belly also. And the juvenile of great cormorant is very distinct. That is on the right side of the picture, the bird appearing in the right side of the picture. They have all white underparts from throat down to the base of the tail. So it can be easy to identify them. Now, I hope you like the uh, video and thank you.